Hi everybody, Terry Naber with Remax Properties here. I just watched a very exciting video for an hour that went into great depth on whether you should wait to buy or wait until rates or prices go down. And I'm going to sum it up in a nutshell. This was over an hour long with dozens of charts, all kinds of data, and that's what it boils down to. It is the big picture that you need to look at. So when we want to answer that question, we have to look at that data. And that data came from David Stevens, the former assistant of Secretary of Housing under President Obama. He was also the vice president of single-family lending with Freddie Mac and has other top credentials to make him one of the best authorities on this subject in the country. And he consulted with the very top economists also in the country. So the answer is not a small picture answer. You just can't look at one little portion or a quarter. You've got to look at all of the data for decades long. And that's what he did. He went all the way back prior to 1939 looking at the data. So first of all, prices are most likely not going down. There will be little pockets of areas and maybe a month or two where it softens, but on the whole, what we're going to see is that prices are going to go up. And why is that? It all boils down to supply and demand. We have had a shortage of houses since the 2008 recession recovered. Builders have not been building enough. They've been behind by 14% on meeting the supply, and they're going to increase that, but not in time to really meet the 1.6 million home shortage that we have right now. So what happens if interest rates drop? Well, you have more buyers flooding into the market, which means more demand. And we already have too much demand. And here is another point that you need to know. Right now, the rates are lower than they were, say, in September. We had close to 8 in September. How does rates under 6% sound to you? That's pretty good, right, in comparison. But what has happened is that buyers aren't aware of this yet. But we realtors are experiencing it because we're seeing houses that wouldn't sell suddenly selling as buyers wake up to the fact that the rates are down again. And this was predicted. And I was one of those naysayers that said, I don't see why this is going to happen. But I wasn't looking at the big picture. So the reason they're lowering the rates is an election year is coming up and the incumbent party wants to get their party reelected. And so this happens every election cycle, no matter who is in power at the time. So they're going to they've already dropped the rates, but then when they are too aggressive at trying to stop inflation with raising the interest rates, which they've done every single time, and they've created a recession. And when they create that recession, what do they do to stop the recession? They lower the rates. That's what they're going to do again. So the prediction is by all of these experts, the economists, is that we're going to see lower rates in 2024. But we are also going to see higher prices. Now remember, when you buy a house, it's a 30-year mortgage, but you don't have to keep it for 30 years. You can refinance that as soon as you want to. So if the rates fall 1%, refinance it. And you're refinancing at a lower loan amount than you will if you wait 6 months or a year for those rates to come down. Meanwhile, prices go up 8-10%. And the effect on the payment is either even or it's worse. So you want to get into a house as soon as you can because we've got the biggest bubble of home buyers coming along since the baby boomers and even larger. This is the largest demographic of buyers we've ever seen in U.S. history or ever will see again. And these are the millennials that are coming into our market, reaching the prime first-time home buying ages of 28 to 38 years old. And when they start flooding into the market very, very soon, and they're already starting because now they're the biggest home buying demographic that there is, then that's going to be far more competition for the too few homes that we already have. And what happens when you get such a tight supply and buyers are competing against each other to get the houses that are on the market now? Well, the prices go up. So right now is your very, very best time to buy at this holiday season because there are fewer buyers out there right now. The sellers haven't woken up to the fact that they have a little bit more power than they did even in September because there are more buyers out there. Every single one of my listings went under contract in the since October. We've been trying to sell since August. And that is because the rates dropped and the buyers were keeping their eye on it. They're really smart buyers, keeping their eyes on those rates and saw them drop first below 8, then below 7, and now you can even get some at below 6. Now, of course, that varies according to your credit rating and also which lender you're using, what type of loan, your down payment, so many variables that I can't tell you. You can get that rate. You might not be able to get it tomorrow anywhere because they do change daily. But all of this new information makes me say, buy a house absolutely as soon as you can because this tight supply is just going to get worse and prices are just going higher. Meanwhile, date the rate, keep it until the rate goes down, and then refinance. And that's your best bet for getting a good deal on a house. Thanks, and you can look at some data below, and I will talk to you soon. If you have any questions, just call me, 719-491-8966. Thanks so much.